do that. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda Maples, the Curator of Global African Arts at the North Carolina Museum of Art. We have basically 3 different screens going right now, so I'm going to introduce the program very briefly from this screen, which is towards the front of the museum, and where we're going to hold a henna demonstration and a repentance tea demonstration with Chef Kabui and Shemora Shaikh, respectively. And joined by Alexus Rhone, who on the screen is mobile cart. And then back behind me is another cart. You can kind of see me waving my arm. So that's the NCMA. And so we're kind of in 3 different spaces today. So what I'm going to do is just introduce you, welcome you to this program. I am not going to speak too much today, but the idea was that Alexus Rhone, our community partner, amazing activist and playwright, has joined us there, and she's in the gallery in front of a Michaela Wuna piece. She's waving. So she's going to take the reins, and I'm going to gather the in-person folks that are here, and we're going to troop to that gallery and share what we're wearing and why we've worn it and how it's meaningful to us, and reclaim the space of the museum in a very different way. So I just wanted to do that.
Mic check.
Here. And that's the mic check. Is that Alexis?
Yes, that was me. Luke was directing me to do a mic check in the middle of your deal. Please forgive me. It's blaming on Luke.
No, that's great. I'm about ready to hand it over to you. I'm going to gather in-person folks, and you're welcome to just sort of speak to the community that's joined us online. Welcome everyone that's come to this program. And I will be back in a few minutes with you, and we'll go from there. And then we'll all come back up here again to enjoy refreshments and tea together, to talk about the healing qualities of henna with Shemora Shaikh, and to drink repentance tea with Chef Kabui.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, am I on, Luke? Can they see me? Okay, I'm walking towards the card. Okay, I'm looking at myself, but I'm also looking at my mother in Houston, Texas, who has this big cup of coffee or tea or something that she's doing. And she has put up, please, could you not promote Google on my time spot, please? Thank you very much. Amanda is bringing everyone back here who is coming. I'm so excited. Hi. She's like, okay, what are we doing here? I love it. Thank you so much, Amanda, for this opportunity. Again, I am Alexus Rhone, founder of Truth Meets Story, LLC, expanding empathy one story at a time, and your host for the Global Fashioning Assembly here in North Carolina. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of the assembly talks. I have been keeping up with them. I've been taking notes. I've been off camera because I've not been camera ready. I've been trying to get camera ready to get ready for this thing. So one of the theme that we went with for our particular part in the assembly, in the Global Fashioning Assembly, is mute the dominant mic. And I am wearing a situation, but before I get to that, let me pull this other thing up here real quick. I need to tell you something about this particular space and what it means to own this space. And so what happened was, I love North Carolina Museum of Art. I love the way that they curate some solid content. I love that they have all of these amazing exhibits, and I'm a huge fan of Dr. Amanda Maples specifically. During the pandemic, there was an exhibit that was about to go up, and then they put us in shelter in place. And I was really sad because I had been waiting for that exhibit to come up. It was called the Good as Gold exhibit, and it was examining Ghanaian women and their use of gold in their fashion. And I had been the promotion, the banner posters that were up all around the museum park, they were so beautiful. And I was really looking forward to this exhibit. Then the pandemic hits and we shelter in place. And so, of course, the museum and all of the other places where we could normally gather, we get said, okay, you can't be in there. So I thought, all right, I will wait. And so sure enough, when they make the decision for us to finally be able to go into the galleries, they start, this thing where they're like, okay, we're going to release certain amount of tickets. And we'll do so at different time zones. Hey, beautiful people. Okay, they're coming in. I'm just telling the story. All right, y'all get settled here while I'm getting all this stuff in place here. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So Amanda's getting everyone settled while they're doing that. One of the things that the museum did to keep everyone safe was to say, okay, let's release tickets at a particular time. So I bought tickets the first time, like the museum opened at 10. I was right here 10 o'clock. I got that block of tickets. And because we had been in a pandemic and really because I had been a part of the cultural context that had been super casual, it was my practice to not really dress up or to do anything, to just really kind of stick with comfort. And so I show up at the museum on that day in some sweats, my hair in a ponytail or something, some tennis shoes. And I enter the exhibit, the Good as Gold exhibit. And I am surrounded by beautiful images and pictures and paintings and portraits of these beautiful African women, and they are doing their absolute best. And I feel extremely diminished and ashamed at how I have come into this space with them. And so I decide, that's it. I'm coming back, and I'm coming back differently. And every time I came to the museum, and I was a weekly visitor, I would dress up for what I call my godmothers, my aunties, and my sisters throughout the diaspora. I could no longer show up and decide that I'm just going to be comfortable. And so I would do the absolute most. I got this gold bangle here that I would wear. I would put on my gold earrings. I'd put on my makeup. And one day I decided that I wanted to show up with some shoes. Can you see this? The audience is laughing. Can y'all see this? This is the boot that I specifically wore because I wanted to be in alignment with the women who were a part of the global, I'm sorry, not global fashioning event. I wanted to be a part of the Good as Gold exhibit. I wanted to definitely represent for them. And so I felt like this was what properly represented how they showed up. Now, the first person to look at me was the guy who would open the door, one of the museum staff, and he was real gracious when he said, "Are you gonna walk around in those?" And I was like, "Listen, I'm on my way to the Good as Gold exhibit, so absolutely, I am. I'm gonna walk around in these." But as soon as I was done with the exhibit, I was also done with these boots, and these have actually been in my trunk because I'm like, okay, that was just kind of stupid, but I did it because I value them that much. As I'm trying to figure out what my look needs to look like, about a year ago, I'm in Los Angeles for a concert, Rebirth Brass Band out of New Orleans. And I am a fan of jumpsuits. They're easy, effortless. And I want convenience. And so I have to be searched as I'm waiting in the line to be searched as we go into the venue. And so I have this beautiful little pouch that I'm wearing right now on. Standard, it goes with me everywhere. And so as I walk into the venue, the guy who is security says, "Excuse me, ma'am, I need to search your fanny pack." I'm like, "A fanny pack? What the devil is a fanny pack?" "Excuse me, this is a leather-like, cognac-colored hip pouch. Get it right." The whole audience fell out laughing. And so did the guy. And then he searched it. And then, we came on and, searched it. He's like, "Yes, ma'am, please forgive me for misnaming it." But this is a very comfortable part of my fashion routine, intentional and also convenient. This is a piece that when I am permitted and given room to show up in any space, what is it that feels good, real, and right for me? It is this. It is that it is cute. It is that it is convenient. There are no labels for any of the designer brands that everyone else has to have. That's not how I show up in the world. I want something cute, but I want something convenient. And this absolutely represents that. And so now I have some people here with me. Woohoo! These beautiful folks here. I need to see exactly what are their brand. Like, what's your brand of flavor? I don't know if I want to start with Amanda, who definitely said, or if there anyone else wants to go first. Okay, stand up and let them see how you.
So I can briefly share what I wore today. So we invited people to show up in something meaningful or show show up by Zoom and something meaningful. So I wore a design by Rama Diaw, who is a Senegalese designer. And this is from maybe my second trip to Senegal. So it's very meaningful to me because that's the work that I did and the women I've been working with for years in Senegal that realized the show Good as Gold. Both of you were a part of that show, and it has pockets, deep pockets, so you can actually like have stuff in there. Yeah. So I think a lot of fashions for they give those pockets to men, and I think it's really important to have nice deep pockets in all your female ensembles. So any dresses that have pockets, I'm 100% on board. So I wore that today. I'm also wearing my Fulani earrings in silver. And here I can come around and show to the screen. I'm wearing this beautiful filigree bracelet, also from Senegal, that is meaningful to me. So I'm showing up in my Senegalese styles today. This is my bracelet and my Fulani earrings by a Malian designer that we featured in Good as Gold as well. And now you can see my skirt in my pockets. So that's it. So it just, you know, I worked with some really amazing women for that show, and I really wanted to show up for them today. So thank you to all of them, and thank you to Rama Diaw for creating amazing and very wearable designs. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And I think one of the things that Amanda also just demonstrates is the power of the artist, the power of exhibitions, and all of the ways that it's going to impact people. What I felt really good about that exhibit was seeing the way my sisters, my aunties, my godmothers around the African diaspora were showing up, and how in the dominant culture to which I had been a part of, there was this sense of, oh, just be casual and only do the most, you know, for a ball or whatever. And I decided that I was going to do the most every time I chose to do the most, but what I wanted to do more than that was to always do me. Who else in here is doing themselves? Right there. Okay, she was like,
Thank you. And, you know, thank you guys at the museum for bringing us in. And I think that's a really special, you know, something that's really needed in the community. Um, the, the programming at the museum has been
How come I
incredible
can't hear?
over the last few years. I
I don't
really
hear
appreciate
anything.
it. Oh, okay. Is that better? No, okay. So what I'm wearing is a Royster Hills exclusive. This is a one of one, an elder in the community who I've adopted. We're both from New York, um, both native, and she made this and gifted it to me. And it took about 6 months before I really realized how kingly and how majestic this piece is, for me to really feel it the way it was supposed to be worn. And it's brought about native roots that I feel, when I put it on, I feel it transforms me to another place and time. So this is my power piece, and I wear it every chance I get.
thank you. And it is like so impeccably well, it's so well made. It is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing. He said he felt like a king, and I was like, yes, why don't we always do the thing that makes us feel regal? I'm like, why don't we do more of that? I say that part of muting the dominant mic, which is again, the title of our program, is recognizing that we need to stop giving over agency to other spaces and do what feels good. A lot of the sessions that from around the world that have been featured here in the Global Fashioning Assembly have all been about decolonizing spaces, which really means, okay, what does it mean for us to say this feels right to me? And for that to not be codified by some external directive, but simply like what feels good to me. So I think as we begin to really trust our own intuition and lean more into that, then we're going to have like the person who feels like the king, and the person who represents all of the global, the world travels that she's done, and how that feels. And then the people who are like, this is convenient, this is cute, I'm going to go with this. And I think when we show up in these spaces in that way, then we really are prepping for a love pandemic. Ashe, and so be it. Others, who else is interested? Yes, okay, yes, you're like, I feel you. Okay, come on over, give us that piece. And speak directly into the mic this way.
Okay, so we were not sure what to expect from today. So we're just jumping in here and going with what you're trying to do. And okay. So this is how we just showed up. And I'm
That's
with
a
you, girl,
jumpsuit
on
too,
the
right?
jumpsuit. I'm with you on the jumpsuit.
Effortlessly beautiful.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And it takes me everywhere. The piece that I'm wearing here is was made specifically for me. The outside is labradorite, sunburst labradorite that comes from a mine in Mexico, just one mine, and a moonstone. And it was given by a friend who designed it, and there's not another piece like it. So that's my individual piece that says, this is who I am. I don't know, this is
That is so powerful.
recycled plastic.
So she loves the earth.
Yes,
Yes.
a space statement about today. And this came from a friend gave it to me when he was traveling, a very good friend. And as my world becomes closed because of the responsibilities that I have, I rely on these type of things and friends to keep my world open and not becoming too marginalized. So.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay. Yes. And you should come on through.
Okay, so thank you. So my pants are new. I actually got them yesterday. So they're meaningful to me because tomorrow is Diwali, which is a major holiday for the Indian community. And so when it's Diwali, you're supposed to wear new clothes to bring in, good energy. And yeah, that's kind of that. I also have on this necklace. It's called Nazar in Hindi. It's the evil eye, essentially. Just that. I'm sure people have seen that before. And it's just supposed to protect you from evil. Just a bit of a superstition, I guess you could say, but I like to keep it on me. And that's kind of it. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I appreciate, again, everyone continues to say it's agency. This feels good to me. This makes me feel safe. This is the thing. And I think that that's what is going to really keep us strong and keep us thriving collectively, is when we recognize that all of us have our whys. And as long as our whys are leading us into, healthy, honorable spaces, and I say we just need to keep doing that thing. So yes, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. One more. Oh, Shemora.
Hey everybody, I'm Shemora, and I had the honor of being part of the Good is Gold exhibit too. I was in charge of the head wraps. Okay, so I would say the piece that's most important to me that I have on today is my necklace. I don't know if you can see it. It's very colorful, but my father was in the Navy for 22 years. He retired out of the Navy, and every time he went overseas and came back, he always we were 4 girls and my mother, and so he always brought us back things from where he traveled from, and he always brought us back over the top stuff. And I feel like, it was like, I remember being like, 6 years old, and they're like, oh, a little girl should not be wearing like real gold or real pearls or real this, because she's gonna lose it and she's not responsible. But we were already dripping and wearing those things because of my father, and that was just his taste. And that was probably the very beginning of cultivating my own sense of style and fashion, because getting things from like overseas and from different parts of the world and traveling with my father was like how I got all these, like that sense of just having something authentic and just colorful and all that kind of thing. So this necklace is definitely sums all that up for me. So there you go.
And I really love that she, and I'm gonna put my mother on blast here. Hey, Mom, I'm looking at you. She was really, really good about, and she's waving like, yeah, I'm on blast. So what? Now what? She was really good about saying, okay, now y'all just gonna lose it. Don't do that. Don't do the fancy thing because you're just gonna lose it. But Shemora's dad was like, listen, my girls deserve the absolute best. And eventually, Mom, you pulled it together. So I forgive you. I also forgive you for the time when you told me that the reason why I had to crisscross the back of my rompers so that I wouldn't get chicken pox. Now I'm 52 and I have not gotten chicken pox. So I'm going to say thank you because, you know, mothers are just good that way. And the spirit of all things good listens to mothers when they tell those crazy stories. So anybody else would like to, yes, oh my goodness, we have some others. Please come up and share, but the piece that you're wearing, that's so that the rest of the global audience will be able to see the part that feels good to you. Come on, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Chef is gonna do it. All right, come on, Chef, show us how.
Trust everybody's well, and I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm always very excited to be in a museum because I always say museums are the first host of illegal immigrants from my continent. So before there were illegal immigrants who were trying to work here, illegal immigrants came here in the form of cultural appropriation that were taken from people without their permission and hung in museums. So if we are going to have a better future, there's no better place to start than a museum. And that's why I showed up showing off my apron, because one of the big jobs that I know for sure that Black people came here to do was to cook. All right, but they cooked under some of the worst conditions, and worse, they could not even taste the food that they were eating because there were these mouthpieces that had been built to make sure that when you were cooking, you did not taste the food or eat the food because it was not for you to eat. And worse, when there was no mouthpieces, there were songs that you had to sing from the kitchen into the main house so that you can prove you don't have anything in the mouth. So for that reason, I showed up with a very, very fancy apron, celebrating a lot of cultural awareness as we think about food and we think about how the same conditions that existed back then are going on today, while today, instead of not having a mouthpiece, we're actually free, or we think we are, and we eat junk and we eat things that are killing us. So we don't have a mouthpiece per se, but in reality, we have a worse mouthpiece, because even if you sneak, if I was there, I know I would sneak and eat it, even if I have to pour it through my the piece or whatever. But at least now we have worse food that's not only changing our body, but it's changing our genes. So that's why I wore this apron, to celebrate the few steps that we've made, because so many people have had worse and worked so hard so that people like me can come and work at the museum and get paid and travel across the world. All right, so appreciate it. So fashion is very connected to food. Very, very connected to food. Fashion is very, very connected to food, because we feed ourselves on the inside and we show how much proud we are on the inside by what we put on the inside. But you also show our pride. Unfortunately, that's not something to really clap for, because we're doing a very bad job of having very, very dirty rugs on the inside by eating junk food, but we wear on the outside, we wear very, very flamboyant, really expensive looking stuff. So we need to get our priority together. And that's why I wore this apron that celebrates that. Afrofuturism, thank you.
Thank you, Chef. I think she does. That smile says yes. Yes. Directly.
Okay, hello. So my style, actually what makes me comfortable is very minimal and very simple. So that's basically where I stand. Just something that can fit in anywhere almost, just kind of simple. But the necklace I have on today is a smoky quartz that my stepdad actually hand cut himself. So I hold that piece really dear. And it's also just very simple and minimal as well. So it's just me, just keep it minimal, but I appreciate all the art of everything else.
Thank you so much for sharing. I got to tell you, I always feel jealous, and I'm trying to be a better human being and to not allow envy to be the thing that overtakes me, but to really just celebrate and look at all. And right as I say, I try not to envy, there's all of this beauty that just pops up right behind me. So they're about to be on the mic here just a minute. I'm looking at y'all, and the world is as well. So y'all laugh and prepare your comments. But I love hearing the stories about personal things that that have been done for folks. And so where one part of me is like, oh my God, nobody has like done this special like specific jewelry for me. But then the other part says, and also I have now met some people for whom that is a reality, and they have shared that story, and I feel connected to them that way. And so there's no reason for me to feel envy when I feel connected and I feel proud. And I hope that you also are feeling the same love and the energy as well. So we have some more folks who have come in here, listen, who understood the assignment. That's how I love to call that. They came in here, and so I need to know who is going to be the first on the mic that's going to tell us about the piece that you're wearing that is sort of representative of who you are and how you show up in the world. I hold the mic out, and whoever grabs it, it is their turn. Just talking it like.
Hi. Okay, this was sudden. So who am I? Great question. That's a deep question. I am first generation Jamaican American, and my culture means a lot to me. My mother is here. She is American, and I feel like I was really blessed. I had grow up with this blending of cultures, and ultimately they raised me in a way that I was able to ultimately start pursuing my dreams. And so now I teach yoga, which is what I really always wanted to do with my life. And my brand is called Yoga Monarch, like the butterflies. And my dress today, I don't know if you can tell, but it's covered in butterflies. And I also am wearing butterfly earrings. So that is symbolic of the journey I took. Yeah. And I chose the butterfly because it's a journey, right? You start out as a caterpillar and you can't imagine what you're going to become. And yeah, like the whole thing.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, look at all of these deep people who showed up. She's like, listen, like the butterfly, it starts as a caterpillar. You don't know what you're going to become, but you know that it's going to be beautiful. You just take the journey. I absolutely love that. And the yoga practice is called Yoga Monarch. Yoga Monarch, like the monarch butterfly, Yoga Monarch. Okay, I love that. And I want to say that I may have attended one of your sessions. Did you do a session for it was a nonprofit organization, gosh, probably back about a year or so ago. You led us, and we were in a chair. There were some limitations that we had where we couldn't do all of the full poses. I believe that it was yours because it was very, very beautiful. We started our day, a retreat that we were doing, and we had limited space. The space that I had was beautiful, like with the nice aesthetics, but it was, it was free, and so we weren't able to, and it was hot outside. And I remember we were trying to figure out how to do that, and this beautiful soul led us into a very beautiful and intentional space. And now she's here representing on so many levels. And thank you, Mom, for gifting the world. Yes, this gem. Would you like to come up and to share as well? Yes. Do you have the thing that you want to come and share? No, she's like, that would be no. Okay, all right.
So I did not understand the assignment because this is just this is what I wore to church today. So I didn't know that we were supposed to like wear something significant. This just so happens to be the dress that I wore to my graduation. So I'm a proud graduate of North Carolina A&T. Aggie Pride. So yeah, just so happen that. Thank you. Yes. I'm a very proud graduate of an HBCU. That is also my mother, and that is my sister. So this is just a very special dress. Actually, my mom gave it to me. So I just think it's beautiful and vibrant. And then at our church, we were also talking about breast cancer awareness, and then hot pink is the color for breast cancer. So I also didn't plan that, it just so happened. So God was putting things on my heart today. So I came dressed in something significant and something about breast cancer awareness.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you look beautiful. Someone from the audience said divine alignment, and I'm going to co-sign on that. She's like, I didn't know the assignment. I was like, clearly you did. And it absolutely worked out. Okay. So we have one more. Yes, I am. She's like, you looking straight at me. Hashtag facts.
Hi, my name's Iris. Okay, my name is Iris. I'm from Ohio, moved here to Raleigh, North Carolina, about 5 years ago, and I love it. I love the greenery. I guess I'm wearing my jewelry line. I'm just launching it now. It's called Inner Aura Jewelry, and I just love the way jewelry just sits on brown skin. It's just beautiful. It's like a piece that represents yourself. So I do want to make unique jewelry for everyone, and I hope everyone enjoys it. It's a learning process, and I'm just grateful for that. Yeah, so I'm a little nervous, but thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I love that everyone who has stepped to the mic has had something very meaningful, and it's been impromptu. And so I think part of what it means to mute the dominant mic, it also means that we no longer feel like if we don't have everything polished, prepared, workshop, that kind of thing, that somehow we need to be silent. That clearly is not the case. We have something to say all the time if we show up mindful and with integrity and knowing exactly who we are and what it is that we're feeling. The world is waiting for this level of integrity. So thank you for everyone who has shared that. Like, y'all are definitely like doing all of the things right. And we have one more. Mom, will you please step to the mic and just share? Thank you. Thank you.
Look, since I am here, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Carolyn, and I guess a couple of things that I'm wearing that are significant would be this little pink ribbon here, which we all have come to know represents breast cancer awareness. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and I have 2 sisters who are breast cancer survivors. So it's a very important, I guess, mission that I am on board with. Of course, being a woman as well. And the pearl necklace, of course, they're not real, but you know, they represent what comes out, what comes out of an oyster deep in the ocean, something that's very rare, a rare find. So I do believe in wearing pearls for fine occasions such as this. And to top it off, there is an organization that was founded here in Raleigh called CC, Sisters Inspiring Sisters Incorporated, SISI. And you can look them up there on Facebook. Another women's, well, I'll plug this one, North Carolina Black Women's Empowerment Network, of which I am a member. Another member of our organization named Terry Spicer founded CC, and it's to provide transportation, I guess, primarily to breast cancer patients so they can get to radiation and chemo appointments and all. And this year's campaign is called, it's called Lift Your Pearls and Check Your Girls. So if you go to their website or their Facebook page, you know, you can learn a lot more about what the organization does. It is a 501(c)(3), but I'm also here today in support of my adopted daughter, Shemora. Yes, I'm so proud of all that she does, all that she is, and of course, proud to be mom to Bianca and Amanda, whom you saw earlier. So it's good to be here. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much for sharing. She was trying to be quiet and like let the daughters have the full mic, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna need you to step up as well. And even when she was talking about the her pearls, I understand exactly what it is. I'm wearing a pair of pearl earrings that I purchased in Dubai, and I actually bought like 4 or 5 sets. I gave them to my goddaughters and my nieces, and I'm wearing actually the pair that one of my nieces, she didn't have her ears pierced, and so I kept these thinking that at some point she was going to get them pierced, and at this point they're just kind of mine. It's been about 10 years, and so if she hadn't done it right now, I just feel like they belong to me. But when I was walking outside, I was waiting for the program to get started, and I was taking selfies, and I was, you know, telling folks that I have this story that I'm going to tell about, you know, this hip pouch and all of that. A bee stung me right by my ear, and the thing that I was most panicked about was, wait, did I lose my pearl? I didn't. I kept that pearl. Pearls are important. Wear your pearls, feel the girls. I love that. That's the campaign, right? That's the other thing about what it means for us to reclaim these spaces like the museum. When we show up and we have access to the mic, we get to meet the dominant mic, then we get to be and to share and to show and to do all of the things that other folks are like, okay, well, no, well, maybe not now. Let's create a program or something for this. It was like, listen, we've come here and we've heard about jewelry that's been made for us privately. We've heard about like the ways that we want it convenient, we want it easy, we're simple, or we do the most. We're gonna get it when we're young and we're not gonna worry about it being lost. People who love us give us these things, and we have these organizations as well that are doing. So we wear clothes that make us feel stylish and make us feel like, monarchs and kings and queens. I love it. We are absolutely doing these amazing things. And I am so, so grateful for the opportunity for us to do this. Now, we have told all of the stories. Let me make sure we did have one person who joined us. Sir, would you like to tell the story of your favorite piece right now that you're wearing, something that feels like the world is watching and they are curious about your style and how you show up in the world, what feels good and comfortable, what makes you you? Would you like some time at the mic to do that? Okay, I hear a yes.
It's not what I have on, but when I was in the gift shop, I saw the new logo on a baseball cap. And I'm in a walking group that walks at the art museum 3 times a week. So I can't wait to buy the hat and so be the first one with the new logo on there. So that we love this place. We've been members for a long time, and it is morphosized into a wonderful, wonderful place. It really has. And we're all lucky to have this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. And it's interesting that he said about like how the place is like morphosized into this thing, because there is someone who is in the audience right now. She's off to my left. Her name is Miss Bev. Miss Beverly has worked for the museum. Miss Bev is 19 years. 19 years, is that correct? When she's been here, so she has seen the entire cycle. I come out here, I call this the museum park, this beautiful, just acres and acres of walking spaces that lead into a lot of the greenways. And so I have deemed the North Carolina Museum of Art my prayer garden, and I'm gracious and I share it with the rest of North Carolina. But this is where I come, and at sunrise I pray and I walk these grounds, and I'm just so excited to be out here before the sun comes up, and it's the best production on earth. And on the days that Miss Bev works, she's in her car and she'll see me walking, and so she waves whatever, and we'll talk through. And so I'm in awe of these grounds and all of the ways that they are so extremely well manicured, and the public art that dots the different spots. And I was talking with Miss Bev one day, and she was giving me a history of all of the landscape, and she was saying like, yeah, that used to be a whole big, like she could describe all of it. And I was in awe of what could happen with terrains. But Ms. Bev was like, yeah, look, I'm an eyewitness to what it was and then what it's becoming. And what it is becoming is a place for the people. And this event right here is showing how not only does the museum make space for high art and fine art, but it also makes space for us to mute their mics and for us to come out and to have our say. So I want to say thank you to everyone who is here, and we are going to now transition to the next part of our program. I'm gonna have everyone walk out and follow Chef. I think the next thing we're doing is the repentance tea. And so while everyone is walking out, I'm going to explain to you what's about to happen. So we have 2 different feeds that are going on. Amanda, did you? Oh, okay, I thought Amanda came through. Oh, we have more people. Oh my goodness. Psych. We're not done with this part yet. Come on through. Here's what we're doing. She was like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, well, first of all, please let the world see how beautiful y'all are. Okay, listen, North Carolina is representing, doing the absolute most. So what we're doing right now is we are telling stories about a piece that we're wearing that kind of like describes who we are, like how we show up in the world, our favorite piece. So may I please pass the mic to y'all, and you just hold it up this way so that everyone will be able to hear you. So let the world know what that looks like.
So I guess I'll talk about the jacket that I'm wearing. It was actually my stepmom's. She had given it to me as a gift. I think this was the first one that she had given to me. And it was like a really big pivotal moment because I always used to see her wear these fabulous jackets and I always wanted one. And then she was like, you can get one if you like grow and I can actually grow into it. So it was this like pivotal like womanhood moment where I got this like jacket. And so it's like one of my favorites and I wear it all the time.
I will pick just a piece on what Ingrid is wearing. I do a lot of online shopping, especially over COVID, as did we all, I'm sure. And the fabulous part was if something didn't fit, I could just walk over to Ingrid's room and give her, I think it was, what did it start out as, a jumpsuit? It started out as a jumpsuit. She did her art school magic on it. And now they are like a self-belted culottes. Yes.
Goodness. Oh, clearly. Okay, so we're looking at the future of fashion right here. Right? She is doing the most. So I feel like you're about to get, I hope you got some business cards. You're about to get some clients up in here. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Now, if I could have everyone transition to the other gallery because we're about to engage in the repentance tea celebration or ceremony. And Chef is going to give us all of the background on the repentance tea. We're going to do it over there. Chef, is that correct? Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna have everyone yeah, if we'll just go ahead and transition to the front gallery. We're gonna follow Chef. Everyone, let's just follow Chef there while we're doing that. There are tables that are up front, and so okay, Luca, you about to? Okay. Oh yeah. So it's also we are. Yes. So they're setting up the gallery right now. Do we need this mic? Got it. Okay, so Luke is about to end it over here. And I want to say that I am blessed to be able to show up in the world as a storyteller and then to be able to, without saying, okay, y'all come and tell your story, just introduce people to exactly how that looks, how that feels, how easy it is, how accessible all of our stories are, how important our stories are. We've been talking a lot about decolonizing these spaces, and a big part of the way that they will be decolonized is by us telling our story of how we show up in the world differently. We see it differently, and the way we see it and the way we show up is important. It matters. It's going to do all of the things, and we are here for all of it. So we will see you over in the other gallery.
Never once have I ever been to more.
Hello, we're back over here. This is just my backup computer, so hopefully the main one will be the one we use. But just saying hi, we're all over here.
I'm demonstrating how to get this snack. Don't trust it. That's me.
Absolutely.
Can you take a picture of me?
I don't want her to get rid of it. But
No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay right there. And if we need to bring that shotgun over here, that might be, we do that, that might be better. Let's see how it sounds, and if we get any feedback, then we'll bring it over. Yeah, so that's just coming straight into input 3. I was looking if I could extend that. Turn volume up in the room.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm just wondering if anybody would like to share a story about what you're wearing. Unless I think they're about to start with a henna presentation. We can't hear Shemora, no.
I'm asking. Oh. Wonderful. People are sharing on the chat. Hi. You're welcome to join and watch the henna demonstration if you'd like. Welcome next.
Okay. Which job? Okay. Okay.
Preparing a repair system to show or to demonstrate the irony of how you think a lot about it. Yes, how you doing? Can you hear me? All right, okay. All right, coming through. Oh, okay. You ready? I'm ready. How long do I have, by the way? So give me a time frame so I know what. How many minutes? I don't know.
Is there an idea?
No, I always try to get a, you know, a good average of what I have.
Let me make sure, like.
Sure. Now we are staying in order. I don't want to mess up. So.
So you lead us into the ceremony, like whatever requirements you show up to give us the breakdown of that.
Okay. Any idea like how many minutes you want me to take? I got.
You take the time.
All right. Appreciate it. I'll make put it precise.
Okay. Okay, so Luke is directing me like, okay, could you please do an intro? Please do an intro. You actually heard from Chef earlier, and he sort of began to lay out the lay of land and how he shows up in the world, and he is extremely powerful and he is profound. And he is about to lead us in what I have deemed the repentance tea ceremony, and he has a lot to say about how we have improperly stewarded the past, but how there is hope for us in the future. And so he's going to give us that breakdown. You need this.
So can you hear me? All right. Again, I'm glad to be coming back for the second half and the most important half of what we call the final show for me. And I'm going to introduce my work briefly and then tell you what I prepared. And then I'll pass it on, okay? So my main work, my main interest is as a chef is how food is used as an element of political agent to both colonize a people, but also can be used as a tool to decolonize a people or to free a people. Because no group of people has ever been colonized or enslaved until their food is enslaved. So therefore, when I thought about this event in the museum, I made what I call repentance tea. And I made repentance tea because I see a great dissonance between what we put on the inside and what we put on the inside. Because there's a very, very intricate connection between fashion and food. The first fashion is actually food, because the kind of body that we wear, we put on fashion on a body that's created by food. If you didn't have that body, or to the extent that your body is problematic, whether you're unhealthy or whether you don't have the body size that you want, is an indication of the relationship that you've had with food or trauma around the whole issue of food. So when we think about fashion, we should think about the internal fashion first. Because that's a fashion that we wear all the time. We don't get a chance to change that. If you don't like a black dress, you wear a brown dress. When you don't like a short dress, you wear a long dress. And a lot of times we wear fashion to impress others. Not always, but also to impress others. To be comfortable, but to impress others. But if you're not comfortable on the inside, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference what other people think about it. Matter of fact, a dress can become a mask, or fashion can become something that deceives us. So today I made something very transparent, and I call it repentance because when we talk about global crisis like climate change, the first climate change started internally. First, people's psychology, people who believe in injustice, people who oppress other people. So that started the whole process of climate change. When people eat bad food, that contributes significantly to climate change. So if we want to have better weather, if we want to be here in the future, we have to really, really think about how we eat, and we have to make that connection between what we're eating and the kind of environment it's happening. Finally, last point is that the importance of fashion is that food is the one fashion whereby what you put in determines my fashion. When you eat bad food and you damage the environment, you're forcing everybody else to be sick and to suffer the consequences of your eating, okay? So food is one fashion that makes all of us determine all what we are going to have. So when people say you are what you eat, I say no. We are what you eat, because what you eat determines the kind of environment we have. In the world right now, we're using 4.6 billion liters of Roundup. That means we are polluting the environment, we are polluting the water, we are damaging the insects, but we are damaging the soil. And therefore, we are also making it very, very unlikely that so many of us are going to be here in the future. So as a chef whose main cuisine is Afrofuturistic conscious cuisine, which is the cuisine that I designed, I'm going to share with you an example of that cuisine, a cuisine that is fashionable all the time. It's fashionable when you're by yourself, it's fashionable when you're with other people. And this cuisine, my cuisine, is conscious. I say it's Afrofuturistic because it's African-based. Futuristic is because it's thinking about how we can live the best way, both now, but also in the future. I'm talking very conscious. I thought very, very much when I made this tea here, and that's called the repentance tea. So what is in the tea? I took organic raspberries, organic blackberries, organic ginger, organic lemons, organic maple syrup, organic grapefruit, and organic one more thing. I'm going to run it down. Okay, so I made all that into juice and I sweetened it with maple syrup. So all this is transparent. It causes the least amount of damage to the environment, because to the extent that you consume anything that has caused any kind of injustice, from the seed to the planting, to the pruning, to the transportation, to the serving, to the people who are going to serve and clean up after you eat. If you consume something that has caused any injustice in any of those processes, you are being accomplice to a crime, okay? That's why I call it repentance food. So let us enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Here you are. Thank you very much.
Can we have some?
Oh, yeah. Let me take mine. Because if you're going to give somebody something food to some other people, so eat it first, okay? But I'm very, very glad you're here. Thank you very much to the museum. Thank you very much for all those who put the program together. And I'm honored to be among you, okay? Thank you very much. So Amanda, come on. Yes. So why don't we start with them? Let's start with those people. Oh, it's so hot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has ginger in it, so it make you cool or make you hot if you're cold. Thank you so very much. Enjoy. Thank you.
Have some tea.
Yeah, for her, yes, you can. Sure. Wonderful. Anybody else? Sure. I don't mind talking about cost, you know. You can make cheap food. You don't buy cheap, you don't buy cheap fashion. You got it.
Yeah, so this is not a cheap drink, okay? It'll compete with any wine, most wines, more expensive than most wines that you drink, right? If you add all those ingredients, this is almost $70 worth of drink here. So, yeah. And I will tell you that if you wasn't, yes, try it. Right? So, yes. Yeah, this one you only drink one. No, oh, yeah, I'm kidding. Anybody else? Okay. You want to drink? Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Next, yes.
Erica wants to know why you chose those ingredients specifically.
Oh, yes. Actually, there's a reason. There's a reason why I chose the ingredients. One, that's all. So one, when I choose my ingredients, I have the emotions that I want the drink or the food to produce. Just like you have music you play for funeral, you have music you play for kids when you want to go to sleep. This drink has emotions, a lot of different flavors combining. One, it has tropical flavors, which is a passion. Passion is the most tropical flavor. We don't have it here. And this, I don't mind getting food from far when it's celebratory. This is a very, very big celebration, you know. In fact, passion is something you can use to tell an occasion, you know. You don't wear a suit and a bow tie when you're going to the farm, okay? So you can look at somebody's clothes and you know where they are going, right? So I use very high ingredients, very, very diverse and very complex flavors. So you have passion fruit, which is very tropical. You have ginger, which is very fiery. You have blackberries, which are very northern. Yeah, they are very, very, yeah, they are fall crop. You know, I catch, those are the last stuff I eat in the fall, you know, like this blackberry here. Then you have lemon, which is very sour, and it's one thing that's both alkaline, most people think it's acid, but it's alkaline. So it's very alkaline. It's acidic when you consume it, but when you get to the stomach, it becomes alkaline. So it's something that's good when you can't get in the stomach, it becomes very positive, very cooling effect. Then you have the lemon, yes, the fire. So you have two extreme flavors. And then you have a maple syrup, which is very, very, very northern crop. I didn't use sugar. Sugar has a lot of complex history, but maple syrup is one sweetener you can use that doesn't kill the plant. You know, you get it from the tree still living, but it's sugar cane, you know, very, very complex history, you know, and been very, very misused, you know, so I try to stay away from sugar for that reason. So, you know, so that's why I chose the ingredient. And then the balance. So you have this really, really a nice balance with the raspberries and the color too. You know, yeah, it's reddish color. I'm mimicking the color of the leaves of the fall. You know, you have some of the most extreme color of the fall is the reddish color. You know, it's yellow but orange, but the reddish color, those are my favorite ones. And that's why I chose the color. Thank you. All right, so good. Yes, sir. Chef Kabui. Kabui, K-A-B-U-I.
Get ready for Wally.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, man. We gotta give you a contact too. We gotta connect. Sure. Sure. I'll do that. Oh, good. I'll do that. Oh,
Okay,
actually,
can
I
I get,
remember.
can I go ahead?
Yes, sir, and I have some cards. Anybody got any questions? I have some cards, chefkabui.com.
That's what I was trying to ask.
Yes.
Gonna be doing it. Yeah.
Where can you buy the tea? Wow, that's a very good question. Yeah. I have to figure out where you can buy the tea. It doesn't exist in my own creation. But if you want, I can make use of. But I typically don't. Yeah, actually, so I'm an anthropologist. I didn't say that. I'm an anthropologist. So I am. I write about food. I'm on the edges. I will learn the restaurant stuff. Everything else. So I am actually an advocate for food. I teach. Oh, actually, that's why you can. So I offer this online class
health and wellness through food literacy, right? So that's what's it's going on online. So if you're interested, happy and yes. It's right here. Yes.
I need to grab my phone. I need to quote them properly to see this real quick. There was so many, there were so many really good things here. So,
All right, that's what I want. Hoping you'll be delicious. Yes, I was hoping you'd do that.
see how production is
Oh,
wrapped.
yeah, have to careful. You call me,
Talking
but
about
you know that's how we show up.
set
That's
up.
how we show up. That's
Everyone
how we
was like
show up.
reproducing like this quick.
Drink?
But
Yeah,
the
get some tea.
transformation of a
Yes,
system
sure.
that does not recognize our it's melanated women who are
Yes.
primarily doing this. There are all of these different
Salamu, yes, salamu kwako.
transformation of them understanding
Jambo
what
sana.
needs to happen is the thing that's slow but important work.
Sure.
So they've been talking about how we've been so stuck on production. But it's this grind, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And it's across the board, yeah, but transformation, and by that, I think they mean transforming the system, transforming our understanding, the like we're doing. Like this is-
Yeah, like it's all.
I'm good.
You know.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Like the range of survival and product of destination.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
and that work by different peoples, that work by women is valued too. It is
Absolutely.
valuable, and that women
Absolutely,
and deserve to
absolutely.
be appreciated and paid.
Without a doubt, yeah, I need you to hit that part, yeah.
Definitely.
Let me see. That's all right.
And I think that we're starting.
No, we haven't started. Yeah. Does she have time to do someone else while I'm waiting, while we're waiting, because we're gonna.
Okay, so I do somebody else?
Can you do somebody else in 1 or 2 minutes?
Depends on what they want. I don't know.
Let's see here. Anybody else want a quick, like a 1 or 2 minutes if you want to wait, like whatever was good.
It's up to you. You know better than me.
But I feel like you probably don't want the perfect time unless y'all are on a time limit.
How long?
So there, in 1 minute. Start. Oh, so what's mine? It'd be long enough, like she's gonna be tall. I don't want to take. Okay.
I think
You know what, based on what I said, like what we.
okay, so you want a design that encompasses that, is what you're saying. So I kind of felt like I said, butterflies felt like the metamorphosis you're talking about and the transformation, but also spiral.
Okay.
Something with spiral, like a spiraling, when you're talking about transforming that circular, that just really spoke to me. Yeah. See what happened.
Okay, so tell me which one is, you tell me what's.
Well, I think because this one has less stuff on it, because you have your ring and stuff like that, yeah. And yeah. So, do you want me to avoid the area? Because you're probably gonna have to. Okay, so I won't do anything. Okay, I'll just keep it right in here.
Okay. Keep this mic in my hand.
Stuff as well. I'm coming on this camera here so I can see. Perfect, thank you.
That's all we have.
Yeah, I think the other teacher that said she was also very clever. Oh, what was it? Like, the hardest part is the drawing process and not messing it up. Once you get past the drawing, you're free to go. You're like free to do whatever. And stuff. How long does it take to draw? I would say 15 to 20 minutes. But that time goes by so quick. So, like Bianca, the drawing time just before you know it. But it can be cumbersome.
But I feel like to me that's part of the experience because you're not supposed to. Historically,
yes,
this is done amongst the group of people, right?
Yeah. It's very leisure. It's
Yeah,
leisure.
yeah. It's like cooling songs that makes you want to sit down. Wow. And by the time you feel like getting up, it's cool.
It's okay. So it's about self-care, about taking that time to sit still, sit down.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's gonna force you to do that. You're basically yes.
Okay. I love it. Read the book, man. It's so good.
Well, a story. And your name again is
Alexus.
I had a favorite childhood friend named Alexis.
Oh.
Her sister was Ty and Alexis. We call her Alex.
Now, did you grow up in Raleigh?
I come from a military family.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
No,
okay.
I did not.
Okay.
Well,
that's right. You said your dad was all over the world and bringing it. It's just
and I'm shocked that I've
stunning.
been able to keep up with it. All this time. Since I was a child.
Oh my goodness.
No, we did lose some stuff. We did damage a lot of things too that we got in trouble. But there are things that have survived. I have like probably 3 necklaces that have survived from my childhood that he bought, and it's just like talking about growing into something, right? Seeing this on a little girl versus seeing this on me now.
I
feel like
know it's like I'm fascinated though, but I feel like the fact that he was able to see, that far in the future, like
I mean, this bracelet matches.
It really does.
So this was gifted to me a year ago by one of my moms that I adopted.
Okay.
And she did my husband's vest that he's wearing. She did that, but she did this too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I saw it. She's like, I
Look at
can
all
do
this love. It's such there's such intentionality.
And how they're both like
absolutely
from like
yeah
figures. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Color.
Okay, Luke, we're waiting on like you tell us whenever we're ready to.
We're live. Oh, let's get busy.
Okay, so I am a henna novice. Like this is my very first time doing this. And I am honored to be in such loving care. Shemora was talking about sort of the history of henna. And like I don't want to tell the story the way you tell it. Shemora, what were you saying about?
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, we're talking about muting the mic, the dominant mic, to make room for like, other stories that have really been marginalized. And I was saying how henna itself is traditionally, historically, a women's art and a women's craft, and not just women, but melanated women, whether you're talking about Africa or India. The plant itself originated in the Sahara Desert of Africa, and the oldest records of henna go back in Egypt, in Kemet. So this is like 6,000-year-old craft of women mixing the paste, crushing it, and not just melanated women, but typically henna artists are poor women, and the people who wear henna were the people who were upper class. So it's just this ongoing narrative of just like, henna itself not really being considered an art or being appreciated and supported, financially, just because it is traditionally a women's art and a melanated, women's art. So I think it says a lot about, who we value in society and what we see as fine art or as art and what we feel like is valuable and deserves to be put on display or, so I think that bringing henna to the forefront is definitely bringing that, is muting the mic and making room for that and making space for that and saying that, women are valuable. What women do and what they bring to the table is valuable, and it is art. And yeah.
Now, how did you get into what is the genesis of your henna artist journey?
Yeah, so I grew up in henna culture. Definitely being Muslim, henna marks almost every event, you know, and I think having roots in Senegal and family in Senegal too, whether it's Eid, Ramadan, a naming ceremony, a birth, a wedding, henna was always present at every celebration for the women. So when I go back to just memories and association, and my mom would have henna parties, and I just kind of was like, I'm gonna be part of this. I'm in here. Mostly I was eavesdropping on the adults at the time. So I would help out. I started out just helping out in the kitchen with mixing the paste and getting it ready the day before for the henna party or the tea parties they would have and get together, which, you know, were so profound because it was a sisterhood, and that was their therapy. That was their way of supporting each other. That was a way of passing down traditions. I learned so much. And so that was pretty much like, it has followed me ever since then. And that was my genesis, my beginning. As soon as people found out like, oh, well, you know, Shemora can do henna, boom.
That's all she wrote.
Yep, I'm doing it. I'm booked. So
Wow.
yeah, this has been a journey.
And what would your highest hopes be in terms of recognizing the artistic nature of like a henna, you as a henna artist? Like, what is it that, what's the growth opportunity that the rest of us must honor?
Well, I actually just published a book called Hieroglyphics on how to henna. So I feel like preserving tradition and passing it on, and having that book done, creating that book, it took me 5 years. And that was really like my high hopes, is that putting it in spaces, preserving, you know, the culture of henna. But specifically, the book really highlights the African tradition of henna. Africa has the most diverse tradition of henna, whether you're in Sudan, Mauritania, Somalia, just, you know, Egypt, wherever you go. And so often when we think of henna, we think more so of like the Indian tradition of henna, which is fabulous. But I really wanted to give a voice specifically to that, just because you don't see it and it's so unknown. And that is, you know, I want to see it, you know, I have a photography henna series on display as well, and seeing it in a gallery up on the wall and being able to really capture these designs and preserve them, because henna is a process in which you put down a design and it fades and it disappears into time. You know, it's gone after that. So it's just letting go, and that's very meditative. But I also feel this urge to like hang on to some of that and capture and be like, okay, you know, this is the message, this is what this says. In this artwork, and to be able to sit back and really think about that.
You know, what you said reminded me of an exhibit that I saw at the gallery in okay, who is it that's trying to mess up my shoulders? Who is this person? Do you know them?
Yeah, you introduced her in the first part. Miss Ma'am.
So like Miss Bev, we're on camera now. So we're like she's doing this. So hey world, say hey to Miss Bev. She's a superstar here at NTMA. Miss Bev, you know I love you, Miss Bev. When in LA there was an exhibit at the MoCA, and it was centering not tattooing graffiti artists.
Yes.
And
yes.
I remember it was extremely well curated. What I remember, I think it's 2012, and it was like standing, like it was packed, you know, packed gallery. And everyone was taking pictures and they were so excited. And I remember feeling very annoyed, because a part of me was like, okay, so y'all will support this in this space, but if somebody like puts this art on your wall, at your, in your neighborhood or whatever, like you're ready to call the police, or you won't put money towards art programs or whatever, like, you know, pay a little few more dollars in taxes to, you know, support this type of artistry. So I was really annoyed until I was in one of the galleries, one of the little one part of the gallery that a lot of folks that were following the docent, and they were, you know, giving sort of the whole scoop or whatever. So they followed the docent, and I remained in that space with a guy who was, I remember he was Latino male, shaved head, tatted like neck to wrist. And I said to him, or I asked him, I was like, what do you think about this? And he said, this is really powerful. And then he began to explain to me, he's like, now you see that one right there? Like he said, that particular one, that one's kind of basic, but this one over here. So he became the one to educate me on this art form that he grew up with, right? So he is the expert, and I am in awe at how he was not annoyed. He was appreciative
because he had it was a conduit for voice.
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
Yeah,
and for his, you know, his frame and his like, and so I began to think about what it feels like, you know, for me to not recognize how these spaces that are classically, you know, about profound, when they make room, you know, for other voices and other artistic expressions, how important that is to so many, you know, to so many different folks. And so I hear you saying, like, look, you got a plan for your designs to be on walls,
right?
You know, in spaces around the world.
Yes, and making it more accessible and demystifying the arts, you know, of henna itself. So I think that's a perfect example, because graffiti went from being seen as just kind of like the street art to now, you know, being fine art and, you know, it's growing so much into the mainstream.
Exactly.
And that's what I see for henna as well. But it's just not, you know, something you get, and not to devalue that at all, like whether it's a celebration or you're at the fair or at a festival, you know, for beautification, but, you know, to really listen in on the stories, the symbolism that's being used, you know, either say, oh, that's a design that's from Morocco, or that's definitely a Mauritanian design, you know, and see that gives, you know, see the voices and the people that it comes from and give credit to them.
Right. See the voice of the people that comes from and give credit to that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what I want for the future.
So be it. I love that even before we got started, you gave me the option to look through designs or to just give a word. And so the word, the phrase that I gave you was something that I actually heard in one of the sessions for the Global Fashioning Assembly. And it was someone, a panelist that was talking about sort of this whole mass production and how production is fast, but transformation is not. And that, along with so many other things that, you know, that have happened, when we're trying to, you know, when we are doing the work of decolonizing these spaces, we have to remember that, you know, if it happens, there's a lot of stuff that happens quickly, and too often we settle for that which is just quick and convenient. It just kind of gets us there already.
Right.
But I believe very much in events like this and the conversations that I've been listening to, that transformation is en route, that we are doing it. And so that's why I answer Ashe when I hear, like, well, here's what the future is. I'm like, Ashe, so be it.
Yes.
I co-sign on that, and I see I'm bearing witness, you know, to this transformation in real time. So I give you all of that. And then this beautiful design that you're coming up with, freestyle, is like illustrative, you know, it illustrates all of that. Wow.
So you said you wanted something that represented like transformation and metamorphosis and a journey, not so much about the destination. When you said that, a journey, I thought of spiral.
Yes.
The spiral that symbolizes the journey.
Yes.
In a lot of henna art. So you have these spirals going on in here, and the style is very traditionally West African. The thicker lines that are being used, you see that in a lot of West African henna art. So there you have it. The transformation and what we're all about here today.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me, what do I do? Like, what is my process?
And
Like,
this
do I?
is the book.
Oh, yes. Okay, hold up. The camera's right there. Can you see it? Okay, can they see it? Okay,
They
oh,
can
they're
see
right there.
it.
Okay.
Yes, yes. But you were saying let's talk
Hieroglyphics,
about
how to
the-
henna,
Yeah, hieroglyphics, how to henna. But you were saying let's talk about the process of
how to maintain.
yeah.
how
So
to-
the hardest part I said to her is letting it dry. So once you get past the drying period, you're good. That's because the thing is, while it's wet, you don't want to smudge it. You don't want to get it all over your clothes because it will stain. And once if you do smudge it, it's not like a pencil with an eraser. You can't erase it. It's messed up, and you got to live with that for a week or two on your body. So this is about you and your ability to embody stillness, leisure, self-care, and henna demands that. And that's why it's so important. It has been such a cornerstone for women. Because it is that one time in our lives when we have to be daughters, we have to be wives, sisters, mothers, and all this that's pulling on us from society. But this is the time for you to be pampered. And to be still, and also just to be able to do that because a lot of people can't sit still. So this
Yes, well, thank you for making this experience, my first experience, so wonderful.
So it's gonna dry and then it's gonna peel.
Okay.
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 And then once it dries, you can put your jewelry back on.
Okay, absolutely. Well, so we have a line here that's billing, so let me go ahead so everyone else can get this royal treatment. Thank you, my sister. I
You're
appreciate
very
you.
welcome. It is an honor. And is this yours?
That is my repentance tea. Yes, let me.
Got
Just
it?
here. Yes, yes, yes.
And the
Would you
bracelet-
like me You know what? If you just put the bracelet on this arm, it opens. Perfect. There we go.
See, you
Done.
got it.
Too
You got
easy.
it.
Too
You're
easy.
gonna-
There it
you're
is.
you have to have that sisterhood, okay?
Absolutely.
We have to help you.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
All right, do you want to look at the design or you have one in mind that you want to do?
No, I want you to just do it. I want it on my hand.
Okay.
I love I'm a hippie.
Okay.
Do you?
Let's do it. All right. And are you okay? So I'm gonna see where your
But I
bracelet sits
feel
because I
like
don't want your bracelet to fall and hit your design. So that means I need to just focus on here.
That's fine. And my fingers too.
Okay. Yes.
That I don't take the rings off ever. So.
Sounds good. That is perfect. So let's see. What's your name? I'm Shemora. Thank you. That means trustworthy. I have not. So I think I live up to it. Yeah.
Nicole means victory for the people.
Yes.
And I think I live up to that too.
Yeah.
I try to be an advocate.
So have you had henna before?
Actually not in this sense. I've done it in like the Sephardic tradition.
Mhm.
I don't know how much you know about it, but they do these henna parties. It's kind of like their version of a bridal shower.
Mhm.
Everybody gets turned up and they dance and they throw henna
Mhm.
from like one hand to another.
Mhm.
So it just like dyes the inside of your hands.
Yes, yes.
So I've never done the design, just like getting my palms dyed from henna.
Yes, we do a version like that too.
Really?
But so what we do is we stack up a tray of henna balls. They're rolled into like these balls, and then everybody who comes in grabs one. And then that holding it in your hand naturally will just stain the inside of your hand. So it's not a design. It's just
It's just it's the exact thing. That's so cool. You are just like breathtakingly beautiful.
Thank you, Nicole. Hey, we are reflections of each other. So the beauty in me is a beauty in me.
I'm obsessed with you. Can I put you in my pocket? Also, can I steal that line to tell my
Absolutely,
patients that
yes.
they need to hear that?
It's the truth for us all. It's the truth for us all. So what do you do? with your
I'm a
patients?
yoga therapist. So I work with people who are in recovery from eating disorders or trying to recover. So I work at a hospital, I work outpatient, like all levels of care. I have the best job in the world. My patients are absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you for the work that you do. 'Cause that's heavy work.
It is,
And it
but
sounds like you're built for it.
I cry easy. You can't do that.
It's the truth.
I am.
You have to have
really
that delicate, people are like in a vulnerable space, when they come into those places and, dealing with such an issue.
It's hard, but they make it easy. because they're just like such beautiful, wonderful humans.
Just gonna do it over. The 15 is already there.
So what do you do? Do you do this all the time?
Look, pretty much. I do weddings, birthday parties. I'm also a belly dance instructor. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, I just finished up a season. My company is a Rites of Passage Institute. So underneath that company, it's basically the whole purpose is like healing through the feminine arts. So whether that's henna, whether that's belly dancing, whether that's, yoni steam, whatever, that's what we're doing.
I love that. I love yoga, but traditionally, women weren't allowed to practice. So it's kind of empowering now that we can, and we have our own special practices as women. I love like
And not
yoga for
just-
the men.
Yes. It's so interesting how yoga has become such a female dominated practice now.
Yeah.
To the point that a lot of times men don't even feel comfortable being part of it anymore, even though it started, like you said, where we were the ones who were.
Like it's so appropriated in the West, like so appropriated. Yoga traditionally is an 8-limb practice. So the only reason that yogis, yoganis, and those that lie somewhere in between that spectrum used to do yoga, so they could sit in meditation for longer periods of time, like the actual asana, what we call yoga here in the West. But yoga is an 8-limb path. One of my favorite limbs is called a himsa. It's never doing harm to yourself or anyone else. But over here, it's so appropriate, and people are like, "Oh yeah, downward dog, do that now."
Yeah, now we have yoga with goats,
I
yoga
know.
with beer. It's like everything. It's like a fusion, right?
Absolutely awful. Is that a multivite?
Yes, it is.
What can you tell me about your multivite experience?
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I can't wear it all the time. It's
Smart.
very overpowering for me, which is interesting because my husband, he wears it. It doesn't bother me. For me, if I wear it too much, it's like I'm too high energy, or I'm too hot, or I can almost even get a headache from it because it's overbearing. But I wear it for times where I really feel like I need to have that high energy. So that's how
perfect.
So this is one of those days. Yes, I was like, I'm definitely wearing this, in terms that I feel like, okay, I'm dragging. I'm going to put this on because I didn't get enough sleep last night or whatever. So it helps me out, and it's great for like just manifestation and feeling like in a world where as a light being, you could feel like an alien.
Yeah.
It helps you to feel grounded and it helps you just to integrate a little better. Yeah.
Have you noticed any like big changes since you started wearing it? Because I know that's like the cliche about multivite. I've never used it before.
Look, the book is done. Okay. Yeah. Look, the book is done. And that's manifesting right there. It is happening. Yes. How about you? What's been your experience?
I have never used it before. I'm afraid of it, to be honest with you.
They
That's why
say
I
you
wanted
have to be
ask
ready
about
for
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
don't feel like I am ready.
I respect
don't
that.
love change.
Yeah.
So
I totally understand that because I'm that way too.
I've got to work on like the scarcity mindset and the fear
Yep.
before.
That's been one of my work areas too. Absolutely.
You get it.
I totally get it. Yeah, it's true to that because my husband does crystal wrapping and all that. So someone had requested a motivite and she got actually we knew her friend. So her friend told her about us. So we were like, okay, sure, we'll get it, whatever. Later on, her friend came back to us and was like, I regret the day that I ever told you about her to get that motivite because she has been
Oh my God.
So I was like, well, that's really true. That like if you ain't ready for it, she was like, girl, I'm gonna find it and throw it somewhere so she can't wear it anymore. So yeah. Now I'm like, maybe you need to be more careful. Like just because someone asks for it don't mean you're gonna get it from them. Yeah. So yeah, deepness.
How long does this take to dry?
15 to 20 minutes.
Oh,
Okay, you can handle
I
that,
think a
right?
couple
You can
hours.
handle it.
I think so.
Ooh, it's almost like I want to do this connecting chain.
That ring was given to me by my mother. I love her so much. She's so
My
amazing.
mother-in-law too.
Really? We're so
Yeah.
lucky.
We are, girl. I do
I've
not
heard
take it for
awful
granted.
stories.
I do not take it for granted because a mother-in-law can make or break you.
Yeah.
Real good. Yeah, I just love her, and I love that she's like always on my side.
Mine has seen me just be like absolutely not okay and just loved and accepted me and been so sweet and so kind.
Yes. Okay, let's do this over. Sorry, I didn't want to do that. There
It
you
happened.
go.
We've had a lot on you today.
Yeah.
Bet you are super good at like protecting your energy and keeping your peace.
I am. Have to be. I'm a water sign. What gotta be?
Oh, what's your sign?
Can you guess?
No. You are just so out of this world.
We are the nurturers of the zodiac. I'm a Cancer.
Everyone always thinks that I am a Cancer. And
You might
I'm-
have it somewhere in your chart.
I do. I have it in I'm a Sag rising, Taurus moon. With my sun. Are you gonna judge me?
I'm a Gemini rising.
Okay, that explains it.
I love Geminis. You guys are so intellectual and great conversationists, which you are.
Thank you.
Yes. So look, I can't have no judgment because I'll be judging myself.
It never resonated with me, like being a Gemini. And then I actually had a patient tell me, oh no, it makes total sense because you are super calming. You hold space for us, but you are like a golden retriever as well. And I always felt like the two sides, like one had to be that, but they can just be opposite. And that's true. Like I'm super
The counterbalance.
yeah,
Yes.
calming, but definitely golden retriever for sure.
I'm just gonna put a dot here.
I love that.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I love this so much.
Did I
you.
get everything? Let me see. Okay, I feel like this has extra. Okay. All right, it's there. I'm gonna put. I'm all about dots and finishing touches. It's almost like a glove that you just buttoned up.
Thank you so much.
So be careful of your bracelet.
Yes.
Let it dry. Once it dries, you're free. You can get water on it. It's no big deal.
Perfect.
After it dries, but let it dry. It's gonna dry and peel.
You are amazing.
You too, Nicole.
It's
Thank
so nice.
you. You as well. Thank you for waiting.
Hello. So excited.
Me too. I'm loving these nails.
Thank you.
Come with all the color.
Gotta match this energy.
Okay. I know, right? Both of us got the same color skin going.
Yes.
What's your name?
Sherelle. So nice to meet you.
I'm Shemora. So we got your
Shemora.
Shemora
Yes.
going. Yes. All right. So do you have in mind what you want? You
I
want
would
to
love
go?
a nice hand. I
Okay.
love how you were talking about the transformation. 'Cause I'm going into something like that. So
Great.
we can manifest some of that energy. I
Yes.
would love that.
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm gonna have to go on the way from you over there. What do you think?
Perfect.
That's a smart idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll see you shortly.
Just meet me over there whenever.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, also, wait. Do you have your phone now?
Yes.
I'm gonna take your picture. Go. So you can have this memory.
You know, I love all the memories. Thank you.
Of course. I think
Yeah, because time moves so quick.
Oh,
Right,
it
capturing
does.
those memories is because you look up and be like, what did I do? What did we do yesterday? What did I wear yesterday? I don't
Oh,
even
cannot
know.
remember.
I don't either.
As long as it's colorful, it works.
Right. That's how quick time moves. That if you don't take the time to actually like capture those memories and stuff.
Yes. I'm just so blessed to be in your presence and like, This is so exciting. This is my first henna tattoo.
Oh my gosh. So do you have any allergies to like food or
Nope.
essential oils? Okay. But I can always try to ask that.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. Sometimes people have allergies to like lavender or
How long have you been doing this?
since I was a girl.
Oh, wow.
A long time, which is why I had to write a book about it.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot to pass on. I didn't want it to end with me.
I love that. Continue the lineage.
Absolutely. It's a duty, you know.
Yes. The fact that you can do this and talk, and like my brain doesn't process.
Yeah. But that's what it's about, is like the conversation.
And I love
Like
it.
to me, more than a henna is the actual conversation that it generates.
Yes.
You know, and that's what I said in the beginning. I was just eavesdropping.
Yes.
But you know, when people get henna done, they talking. So I was be there like, all of it, okay. Talk about being my sister's keeper.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
But I love your aura. You have like the best energy coming off.
Thank you. So that's because you have the best energy.
Oh,
And that's why I say like your henna is only as good as you are.
That.
So when you have beautiful henna, that's because you're beautiful. Okay. Yes.
I can only imagine it's going to be magnificent. I've seen all your work so far, and it's
Oh yeah, because I was like,
top-notch.
look, I saw you and I was like, I can't do nothing regular for her. I was like, no, I gotta go like above and beyond. So yeah, best believe I'm trying over here.
No, I appreciate it.
And I just love having the opportunity to like, you know, pamper women and take care of women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-care is real.
Hopefully this could be like a breath of fresh air in
It
your
is.
day.
Like being able to be in this moment and not trying to say it was a pleasant surprise because we didn't realize this event was
And y'all
going
just
on.
walked into it?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Like
Don't
I was
you
so
love
glad that I got
that?
to see you when we came in, because literally I walked in the door, she told us this was happening, and I followed her back to the room.
And here we are.
Exactly. It was meant to be. I am so obsessed.
Oh, I'm glad you're happy with it.
Now I have to get your social media tags if you have any.
Yeah, absolutely. Hieroglyphics. Like,
Okay,
and you're welcome to take there's a bookmark down there.
I will
You're welcome
definitely.
to take
I've taken
one.
lots of content for you, so you will get tagged shortly.
Yes, I'm on Instagram and on Facebook.
I will
So,
definitely share all your work. I'm
Thank
open,
you.
depending on the situation. If you're local or in this area, you
I
travel,
am.
we do a lot with team building. My
Okay.
corporation is from the mountains to the coast. We're always looking for fun, creative ideas, and this is everything. So I'm definitely going to
Yes.
pitch this in my speak up on Monday.
Oh yeah, and then you have the fabulous tattoo to back it up.
That.
Because you know they're gonna be looking.
Oh, yes. Turning heads.
Like, tell us more. Tell us more. And how do we get that? But yeah, I'm in
Exactly.
Durham. I'm based in Durham.
Oh, that's perfect.
Downtown Durham. So you can always book me. My rates and everything are on my website.
That is
So
great.
everything's
You
accessible.
will definitely be hearing back from me.
I look forward to it. It will be a pleasure.
I told my friend that you just met, Nicole, like
Mhm.
this would be a perfect girls. We
Yes.
need to get girls together and do this.
Oh
more
yeah.
often.
Oh yeah. We will act up.
That.
We lots of
You'll see a different Sherelle.
I'm here for it. Look, get the music list curated,
Oh,
okay?
yes, I got you.
Get the
Music is
snacks.
king.
Get
Oh,
the
and
snacks.
I'm the hostess with the mostest, so I got you on that too.
Look, the drinks, we gotta have some
Drinks.
tea.
I was gonna say my husband likes to pretend to bartend. So of
Okay,
course,
there we go. Then that's it. That's all we need.
we're gonna curate the perfect event. I am obsessed. I know I keep saying that, but like literally.
You get to come to
It
the
really is. I'm just glad to be in the moment, like, honestly. There's always this rushing and all the bustle and just being able to sit in here, meet you and be engaged and continue our outreach.
Yes, and are you local? Are you in Raleigh?
So I'm in Greensboro, but two of our offices are in Durham and Raleigh. So I'm usually here maybe every other week.
Mhm.
And not too far at all. The job's not.
Do you want a paisley coming off of here or do you want a flower?
I was gonna say, I love your intention. You do what you
Okay.
feel. Yes,
I know,
yes.
right?
Like I feel it. I'm like, no,
I
you
love it.
but I appreciate you asking.
I love the freestyle.
Yes.
I know, right? You had the best design. I've had so many people request that design because you know it's in my book. You know, have you seen your picture there? You were in my book.
Look at you.
No, you're in this one. I think you might be in both, but I know you for sure you're in this one right here. So if you look through here, I think Bianca might know where it is.
That's
Yeah.
everything.
And they'd be like, I want that one that she got.
Definitely a full circle moment.
Mhm. And that's how people are always like, oh, you know, is this actually your work? And I'm like, I can tell you who everybody is in that book.
That,
Like, those are real people in there, okay?
that is everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I figured out we were gonna do both.
Hey, you know I'm here for it.
Hieroglyphics. So HENNA.
Oh, I'm gonna do that after. I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
get a video.
I thought you were asking. I'm
Oh, no.
sorry.
I kind of said that out loud. I
Yeah,
was
you
talking
did.
to myself,
I was like, okay.
but I will definitely get it.
I know, I feel like that was my most glamorous book.
It is everything. The photos are fabulous.
Yeah, it's all coming together. It was so wonderful.
You are doing great work. I just want to say.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a labor of love. And thanks to people like Carolina who's like supported my craft and my art.
It's good to have people in your team and in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord, you didn't say my face was real.
Oh. I mean, yes.
Look at you.
Yes, you found yourself. Nicole. Oh my gosh, I didn't bring it with me. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh my God. It was a mind belief. You should send me a text. You should send me a text. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Yep, that's Iris. I don't even know if Iris knows she in there. Look, let Iris know. Look.
You have some of the best models in there.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. You're so
Right.
sweet.
It's like candy.
Yes. The Skittles effect.
I'm thinking how I want to do the tips. Let's do flowers. Air bubble. Oh, Reem is all in there, child. That's my daughter. She's baby henna. Baby yoga. Baby yogi. Yeah. She was like, Auntie Bianca gave me a shout out. Love it.
So excited to be in class.
And she was taking it all in too. Like she was going through all the poses. Look,
I'm like that.
she didn't want to get up. Like when you were done, she went to stay. Was it Savasana? She went to stay in her Savasana. She did not want to leave. She was like, and then she had to go to after dance class, which is high energy. So I was like, had to like transition her because she was like, I
didn't get down.
Yeah.
Because it's all adults and sometimes want people to chill. But like for example, if you teach like a morning class, a lot of times you don't like leave them laying down in the class, or you might end standing up so that you're not tempted. Like in a sun salutation, you end standing up, so you're not tempted to like. So
Yeah. Get some food, get some hydration, like get in here.
We're going to end the formal recording session and then go into the sharing council. Do you want
Go
to
into,
end it or-
go into, are we
Yeah.
gonna?
Well, we can,
Right there.
Over there. Okay, because I wanted to. Okay, are we on loop? Look, okay, Luke is like, we're live, okay. We are doing all of the things. Thank you for how you show up in the world. So intentional. You are too. You are as well. That's what this guy, he was like, do you do this professionally? I was like, no. It is absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. But I love that just this content, like this has been so amazing, all of the collaborators and the fact that we were able to go on the third day, which meant that I got to participate in all of the previous discussions and to see that we're not like cookie cutters of each other, except we are all mindful. We're all doing the work and we're being very, very intentional. And so and we're doing good work. So I'm saying let's take the W's, let's take those wins and keep track of them and continue to do the good work of recognizing that production is quick, but transformation is not. But we see evidence of the transformation. That was not me. I think that was not Ghana. That was not Brazil. I think it was North Africa yesterday that said something to that degree. Like, yes, yeah, Erica's like, yeah, that's what it was. I was taking notes, Erica. They were like, why isn't your camera on? I was like, because I can't, I don't look cute when I'm writing notes. But I'm taking notes and I'm carrying all of the messages and we're doing amazing things. So thank you. Thank you.
So happy my cheeks hurt.
So now we're about to stop the recording and then go into the mindful spaces and yeah. Okay. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Not before we thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much for
absolutely. Okay, but stay
inviting
on. We're
us
just
to
stopping
your
the recording.
space.
We're going to continue to talk, right?
Thank
Yes,
you
sharing council.
so much for having
I
us.
very much took notes during that part too. So looking forward to that.
Bye.
and to Chef Kabui.